In the heart of a remote African savanna, far from civilization and even farther from logic, a bizarre and extraordinary event took place that defied the laws of nature. It all began when a wildlife team spotted something strange on one of their drones, a wolf chained to a tree, pacing restlessly while a massive brown bear stood beside it, unmoved but alert. At first, scientists believed it was a glitch. Wolves and brown bears don't coexist in the wild, especially not in Africa. But as they zoomed in, what they witnessed turned into one of the most mind-bending cases of animal intelligence and interspecies communication ever recorded. Chapter 1: The Chain of Desperation. The wolf, later named Cairo, was visibly distressed, not from aggression or fear, but something else, a need for help. With every yank of the chain, he looked not at the drone, not at the distant trees, but directly at the bear. Observers reported Cairo's behavior as pleading, almost human in its desperation. He would whine, tilt his head, and tug, as if trying to show the bear the problem. The bear, nicknamed Brutus by the scientists, didn't react violently. In fact, he studied the chain, sniffed around the tree, and even sat for a moment, watching. This wasn't instinctual behavior, it was problem-solving. Chapter 2: The Unexpected Rescue. On the third day of surveillance, something shocking happened. Brutus, using his massive paws and teeth, began to tug at the chain. Not in a frenzy but with focused effort. Slowly but surely, he began loosening the grip of the chain on the tree branch. Cameras captured the precise moment the chain dropped, and Cairo, stunned, collapsed to the ground in exhaustion, but free. This was the first known incident of a bear appearing to intentionally free another species from captivity. Chapter 3: Scientists Stunned. When wildlife biologists and ethologists reviewed the footage, they were dumbfounded. "This isn't just unusual. It's unprecedented," said Dr. Lena Robbins, lead researcher on animal behavior. "We've seen interspecies cooperation in captivity, dolphins helping humans, for example, but this level of empathy and communication between predator species in the wild? Never." Further analysis showed that Cairo had been captured and chained by poachers for unknown reasons and somehow escaped with part of the chain still attached. Scientists believe Brutus may have once been exposed to humans and chains himself, explaining his understanding of the situation. Chapter 4: A Bond Beyond Instinct. What happened next stunned even the most seasoned researchers. Cairo didn't run. He stayed by Brutus, sharing food, napping under the same tree, and even playing, chasing, and mock fighting, behaviors typically seen in sibling animals or lifelong packmates. Their bond wasn't just a result of a single rescue, it grew stronger each day. Eventually, both animals vanished into the wild together. No tracking collar, no control. But their stories sparked international headlines, academic papers, and heated debates about the depths of animal intelligence and emotional capacity. Epilogue: The Lesson Nature Taught Us. Months later, researchers returned to the area and found something jaw-dropping: fresh paw prints, one lupin, one ursine, side by side. And nearby, a large circle in the dirt where the two had likely rested. It was a reminder: nature isn't always red in tooth and claw. Sometimes, it's compassionate, mysterious, and far wiser than we dare believe. And what began as a wolf's silent plea became a global symbol of wild friendship. After Cairo and Brutus disappeared into the golden grasslands, the scientific community remained captivated. But despite intense drone sweeps and tracking efforts, the pair could not be located again. It was as if they had vanished into myth, becoming something more than just a bear and a wolf. Yet, 2 months later, a team of conservationists conducting a biodiversity survey in the Karawa Reserve found something extraordinary: a makeshift den constructed from branches, bark, and even torn bits of poacher's tarp. Inside were large claw marks on the dirt floor, bear-sized, and nestled beside them, smaller paw prints shaped like a wolf's. No blood, no signs of struggle, just two creatures surviving together. This was not random behavior. This was intentional cohabitation. Chapter 6: The Scar on Brutus. The team left motion-sensing trail cams near the den and, within a week, captured video footage of Brutus returning to the site, alone. But he was limping. On his massive right paw, a crude gash was visible. Old, healed over, but unmistakably human-made. When slowed down, the footage showed what appeared to be burn scars. Suddenly, the pieces fell into place. Brutus had once been held captive too. Dr. Lena Robbins reviewed archival footage from old illegal wildlife trades and matched Brutus to a cub seen in a 2014 video, chained and used for roadside entertainment. He had escaped, grown into adulthood, and wandered into the wild. Whatever trust he had in humans was buried, until Cairo came along. But what caused his limp now? Where was Cairo? Chapter 7. Cairo's Return. 3 weeks later, just before dawn, one of the trail cameras captured a moment that would redefine how science viewed wolves. Cairo returned, pulling something with his teeth. It was a piece of cloth, a bandage strip. He carried it, dropped it near the den, and nudged Brutus toward it. It wasn't just scavenged material. Cairo had likely taken it from one of the ranger camps several miles away. He had stolen a tool for healing. This was not random behavior. It was targeted, purposeful care. When Cairo lay beside Brutus that night, placing his head gently over the bear's injured paw, the world changed. Not just for those watching, but for the entire idea of what animal relationships could be. Chapter 8. The Poacher's Trap. Peace didn't last. 2 months into documenting their behavior, a new danger emerged: poachers. Tracks near the den showed fresh boot prints. Bullet casings were found, and the trail cams began disappearing one by one. On the final night before the last camera was destroyed, it captured chilling footage. Brutus and Cairo, side by side, snarling into the darkness, forming a line of defense as gunshots echoed in the distance. And then silence. The camera feed cut. Chapter 9. The silence that spoke loudest. For 5 long months there was nothing. No signs of Brutus or Cairo. No prints. No den. Many believed they had been killed. But Dr. Robbins refused to give up. She issued a global call for satellite data and motion-triggered alerts across 5 African reserves. And then, deep in the Kavundu forest, a region untouched by humans for decades, came a ping. A grainy image showed 2 animals walking along.